Lee refuse. Prince Harry's horror as he gets stripped of Diana's inheritance and given to cousin. Prince Harry's face was a mask of pure anguish as he read the words on the official legal document in front of him. After years of waiting and expecting to one day receive his fair share of his late mother's estate, the spare heir to the British throne had just been delivered a devastating blow. Her entire inheritance had been stripped from him and awarded to his cousin instead. "I refuse to accept this," Harry shouted, slamming his fist down on the table as tears of rage and betrayal welled up in his eyes. But his pleas fell on deaf ears. The decision, it seemed, had already been made. Ever since Harry and his wife Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, sensationally quit the royal family in 2020, the palace had been steadily and unceremoniously removing every last link Harry had to his royal roots. First came the stripping of his military titles and royal patronages. Then the removal of the couple's prestigious HRH, Her Royal Highness titles. And now, the final indignity, the loss of his inheritance from his beloved mother, Princess Diana. "This is a disgrace, an absolute travesty of justice," Harry fumed to his lawyers. "My mother worked tirelessly for charitable causes her entire life. That money was meant to continue her legacy and do good in the world. How dare they take that away from me?" Unfortunately for Harry, the palace's reasons for redirecting Diana's fortune were sound, at least from a legal standpoint. In the initial terms of her will, drawn up shortly before her tragic death in 1997, Princess Diana had stipulated that her entire estate, valued at close to £21 million at the time, would be split evenly between her two sons, Harry and his older brother William, upon both boys reaching the age of 25. However, in the years since, Harry's falling out with the royal family and his decision to essentially exile himself from the UK had complicated matters significantly. Buckingham Palace argued that by denouncing his royal duties and relocating permanently to the United States with Meghan, Harry had forfeited any rightful claim to his mother's inheritance. Prince Harry made his choice when he chose to abandon his responsibilities to the crown. A palace spokesperson said in a terse statement, "The late Princess Diana's wishes were very clear. Her fortune was to be used to benefit the British people, not to support the extravagant lifestyle of a prince living in self-imposed exile. It is only right that her legacy now passes to a member of the royal family who is still actively engaged in serving the public good." That member of the royal family turned out to be Harry's cousin, Princess Beatrice. The elder daughter of Prince Andrew and Sarah, Duchess of York, Beatrice has maintained a quiet but steady presence within the House of Windsor, dutifully carrying out royal engagements and charitable work over the years. In the eyes of the palace, she represented a more worthy and deserving heir to Diana's fortune. "Princess Beatrice has always conducted herself with the utmost dignity and honor," the spokesperson continued. "She continues to be a tireless advocate for numerous causes that were near and dear to the Princess of Wales' heart. It is only fitting that Diana's charitable legacy now be entrusted to her." For Harry, the news was a devastating blow, both practically and emotionally. The millions of pounds in Diana's estate had been earmarked to fund the philanthropic work that was so important to him and Meghan. Without that financial backing, many of their ambitious plans to support veterans, young people, and environmental initiatives would now be in jeopardy. But beyond the practical implications, Harry was left reeling by the palace's cold-hearted decision to strip him of his last remaining connection to his mother. In the years since Diana's tragic death, her memory had become a sacred source of solace and inspiration for him. The thought of that being taken away and given to someone else was almost too much for him to bear. "This is my mother's legacy, damn it," Harry cried, his voice cracking with emotion. "It was supposed to be mine, to carry on her work and her name. How can they do this to me?" Alas, the palace's ruling was final. There would be no appealing the decision, no matter how much Harry protested. Princess Beatrice would now be the custodian of Diana's fortune, while Harry was left with nothing but the painful memories of the mother he lost far too soon. As he stormed out of the room, Harry knew that this was yet another devastating blow in his increasingly acrimonious split from the royal family. The rift that had opened up between him and his relatives seemed to be growing wider by the day. And with the loss of his mother's inheritance, it felt like yet another piece of his heart had been irrevocably ripped away.